It's time for the Biz Blitz. Now, this is the part of the show where we discuss stocks that you should be watching, and we're going to tell you, well, hey, if they're buy or sell. So first up, McDonald's shares up on news. It's getting into brain food. Mickey D's planning to distribute 20 million kids' books inside Happy Meals next month. To our Biz Blitzers, Dominic Tavella and Derrick Kinney, on if this is good for business or just a way to make McDonald's look good. Derrick, what do you think?
Charles, the key here is we all agree that people should read and read to their kids. The problem is, what should they eat? That's what really gets people worried about it. People are going to question what are McDonald's motives in doing this. But listen, the bottom line is not every American family has the luxury of sitting down at the kitchen table at night and eating a family meal together. For those families that have to have fast food, here's a reason to re-engage as a parent to read to their kids. What I like about this move, first of all, McDonald's continues to refine their branding from coffee to chicken wings now to books. They're focusing on the go to consumer, and Wall Street, I think, will like that for the next couple months.
Maybe the next thing for phones isn't a gadget after all. T-Mobile coming up with a real great new idea. Unlimited data and text messaging overseas. You know, Derrick, I've had a huge last couple of years with the market because I focus on companies with global tentacles. It seems to me that anyone who's smart enough to understand prosperity around the world knows that's where you got to go. Dominic just brought it up. What do you think?
I agree. One thing that investors have to look at is not just U.S. stock, but also the entire global marketplace. One comment on this T-Mobile, which I think is appealing for investors, you've got a new CEO, you've got someone who is fourth in market share, nothing to lose. A big, bold move is what captures the attention of phone users these days. They actually gained market share for the first time in over a year, catching on the heels of Sprint right now. Clearly, this is a move that's going to capture the attention of phone users. It may cause the big three, Verizon, AT&T, and Sprint, to do something likewise, which is good for consumers and may drive costs down and possibly drive the stock up.
Right. Or maybe it makes this company more attractive. You hear that noise?
That's right.
That music, rather? It's noise music. Hey, it's time for your nightcap. Guys, when you go to sleep tonight, I hope you won't be dreaming of the Dreamliner. This thing turning out to be a nightmare. Japanese airline saying a toilet problem forced it to turn around a Boeing 787. But you know what? Boeing stock is still up. Derrick, are investors just getting used to all these problems?
Yeah, investors like the stock. It's up 67%, Charles, year to date. What they're learning to do is accommodate these pesky problems, whether it's a small fire, electrical issues, etc. This plane is clearly part of the future of aviation. Here's my concern, though. The more consumers worry about might their plane be grounded, that could cause the airline they choose not to book those flights. They may choose to travel less, and that could cause problems for all airline stocks in the next couple months as well.
But Derrick, and to your point, Japan Airlines just placed a giant order with Airbus, I think, for the very first time. But would you be a buyer or a seller of Boeing?
Well, keep in mind, Boeing, I think we're betting on the come of the stock, what the future could hold. I think a wise investor right now looks at Boeing and says, for a part of my long-term portfolio that really wants to take flight, so to speak, that could be a stock to take a close look at.
Let's talk now, guys, in the last 90 seconds about the market overall. Huge day today. Derrick, is this a relief rally or maybe the beginning of a year-end rally?
I think it's a combination of the two, Charles. One thing that investors have wanted to see is some conciliatory talk on Capitol Hill. We got that today. How long that will last is going to be yet to come. Keep in mind, as I tell my clients here in Dallas-Fort Worth, long-term portfolios, we want to really negate out some of the short-term volatility. We're going to have it along the way. I think for now we may see volatility for the next couple weeks.
But hang on despite the volatility, though. That's the answer.
Hang on long-term. If you got a risk appetite that says, I've got a long-term portfolio, I would hesitate selling unless we need the cash right now. This is all part of the bumps. But keep in mind, come November 22nd, we may be redoing this video all over again.